Well,
Part of the problem with Israel and Palestine, and I've sat down and thought about this conflict. Not that I'm an expert either, but it's almost insurmountable. It has been, and then now after October 7th, with all the bombings and when they leveled Gaza, it's like, how do you fix this? It's like you've created whatever the numbers are.
Yeah.
Whether it's 70,000 people or 20,000 people that have been killed that are innocents. You've created so many more potential terrorists because so many of the children of those people and the brothers and sisters and relatives of those people. So it's like reinforced this desire to fight against Israel.
But
and you could squash that. You just keep pounding them down till there's nothing left, which is what it seems that they're doing.
But
I understand it from a tactical perspective, I guess.
Do we have that animosity and hatred from Japan towards us, where we dropped, killed 350,000 people?
Well, they did for a while.
Yeah, but
they certainly did for a long while.
Yeah, but
I had friends who'd go to Japan in the 70s, and they said you could feel the hatred.
Yeah, but now it's 55 years
Yeah, they're not
later.
like that at all now.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a totally, completely different generation. So you think future generations will think about Israel the same way we think about Japan? Or Japan thinks about us?
No, because future generations in the Middle East, this has been going since day one, since the 6-Day War, since the Yom Kippur War, since day one they've been being attacked. So there's never
it's also before Israel was founded. You got to go back to how they were being persecuted in Europe. It was insane.
Yes.
There's this guy Daryl Cooper's a lightning rod for controversy, unfortunately, but he's got an amazing podcast, and he's got this series called Fear and Loathing in the New Jerusalem, and it starts out with the Jews being persecuted in Europe, and he takes you through what it would have been like for those people, and the gangs of people roaming down the streets, raping women, beating men to death in the streets. And it's so crazy because it's real. It happened, and it was these people's neighbors. And, this was why they got so many people to move to Israel in the first place.
Yeah.
Because when they said, look, we're setting up a state for Jews from all these Eastern European Jews, are like, okay, we're in. And they moved. And then
and they've also been there since Christ. They've been in Israel. Jews
even before that, right?
Yeah, a couple weeks.
But I think it predates. Doesn't it predate Jesus?
Yeah. I'm not a historian. This isn't my
Let's
whole
find
life.
out. Let's find out since we can. What is the earliest? When did Jews first settle the land that's now known as Israel? It was Judea back then, right? Like what was it called? What was it initially called?
Miami.
But also, this is like, this is one of the reasons why this area is so contentious, is because Christians really believe that when Jesus comes back, that's where he's going to come.
To Jerusalem.
He's going to come back to Jerusalem. Like, are you fucking sure?
But here's another thing too. I've worked. I'm not going to be that guy. Oh, I had a Muslim friend.
There we go. Jews have been a history in the land of Israel, their presence dating back to the second millennial BCE. Okay, settling in the area around 1250 BCE. So that predates Jesus by 1,250 years. It's funny they call it before current era.
Yeah.
Like, current era is not 2,000 years ago. Just say before Jesus, you motherfuckers.
That's what I say.
Second millennial BCE, the Israelites, considered to be the ancestors of the Jewish people, emerged as an outgrowth of the southern Canaanites. The Israelites entered Canaan in 1250 BCE, settling the hill country in the south. 10th century BCE, two Israelite kingdoms, northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah emerged. The kingdom of Israel was conquered by the Neo-Assyrian Empire in 722 BCE. And in 586 BCE, the kingdom of Judah was conquered by the Neo-Babylonian Empire. 538 BC, the Persian Cyrus the Great ended the Babylonian exile, and the Jews returned to their homeland. So they've been there since 538 BCE, started at 1250 BC. So they were there before anybody. Yeah. The Romans destroyed the Second Temple of Jerusalem in 70 current era, leading to the Jewish diaspora. Wow. Crazy fucking history of controversy in that one place. 48, the State of Israel was established. Many Holocaust survivors welcomed it as a homeland.
Yeah, in 48. And since then, they've been at war.
And so they started settling. Another wave of Jews started coming in 1904, from 1904 to 1914.
So,
before
538 BCE.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, we're Palestinians there, and, like, what are they don't even have a country. If you've got people that are right next to you that don't even have a country, they don't have. You know, what do they do if they're ruled by Hamas? How do they fight back? Like, they are protesting in the streets now.
They are against Hamas.
Yeah,
they are.
They get exexecuted.
Did you just see that?
Yes.
The big protest? I just saw that.
Thousands and thousands of courageous people protesting in the street.
It's
they're like, we don't want any more of this. Stop.
Well, look what happened. They got. I mean, because of Israel's help, got Assad out of Syria. Now the rebels took over, but Assad killed almost 500,000 of his own people, tortured 100,000. I mean, those are the numbers I read. I don't know if they're exact, but he's gone.
There's a lot of controversial about Assad in Syria. Yeah. There's a lot of controversy, you know, about what actually happened and why we were backing the rebels. I mean, we essentially backed ISIS, which is crazy. We backed Al-Qaeda, which is just nuts.